powerful, you know? Sometimes they're like 10 feet tall, and that is not, it's not flattering. Like now I look bigger than I am in these photos. She's like a 9-foot Amazon. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, perfect. I hope everybody's ready to grab a seat. There's only 2 or 3 left. Run, don't walk to the stage. Yeah, thanks. Excellent. All right, I'm just gonna lay down and see how this goes. Oh yeah, this is good too. I don't hear it going off. Yep. Great. Is there Wi-Fi in here? Is that what that receiver is? Into it. All right. Yeah, I think that's good, other than like a little echoey. I think everybody can hear me loud and clear, right? Perfect. Excellent. Yeah, come on in, grab a seat. It's gonna be a really exciting show. Get on over to the stage. Entertainment's gonna start at 6:05 if I feel like waiting. Excellent. Oh.
Production, but then I'd be out of a job. She's been a geek, a weirdo, an oddity, and an abnormality, and then decided to join the Sideshow. She's traveled the better part of this country performing feats of wonder and amazement for your entertainment. Originally from the mean streets of Philadelphia, where she got her nickname, the Defendant. But she doesn't complain about the public transit anymore when she's riding her motorcycle across a tight wire with Circus Una. You might have seen her on The Gong Show, America's Got Talent, and since banned on Slovenia's Got Talent. The fiery force of femininity that Time magazine once called the most underappreciated cult leader of 2017, my mom, the one and only Reggie Bugmuncher.
Sorry, I know why you're all freaking out right now. It's okay. Calm down. I'm gonna get this all under control. Don't have to worry anymore. Check this out. OSHA approved. Add that to your hashtag, you snitches. my goodness. This is exactly how you work smoking into your job. Now listen, I know what a lot of you are thinking. Reggie, you can't smoke inside anymore. But guess what? I'm on a stage, so this is art. Yeah. This installation piece goes on for like 3 to 5 minutes. It's a little dark. While Reggie has trouble breathing at night. Oh, I'm just joshing with it. You guys ready to kick this show off? Yeah! I don't recommend doing that at home. Tastes like butt. Yeah, and guess what? If you don't like those types of jokes, buckle up, because it's going to get way worse. Yeah. Now, my name is Reggie Bugmuncher, and I am a Sideshow performer. How many of you here are familiar with Sideshow? Oh, excellent. 6. That's cool. So I need you 6 to remain silent throughout this entire show so that everybody else here thinks I'm doing a good job. Deal? Perfect. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the Sideshow is a little small tent off to the side or back behind the big fancy circus tent everybody sweats so hard. Filled with all the Italian clowns, the fancy contortionists, and I can tell you from experience, those people are no fun. It's all gym nights and green juice. The people you want to party with are in the Sideshow. The tattooed lady, the bearded lady, the sword swallower, the fire eater, and my personal favorite, a man named Melvin Burkhart. Have you heard of him? It is so good to know that at the peak of your career, only half the audience will still know who you are. That makes me feel a little bit better. Now, Melvin Burkhart was known as the human blockhead, and he got this name because he would take sharp implements and shove them directly in the center of his skull to entertain dozens of weirdos on the Carnival Midway, just like you. Now, the first thing I have to demonstrate the human blockhead to all of you is this. All right, so like a ooh would have sufficed. We're gonna do a little bit of audience education here because I'm the opening show and you've got an entire lineup of spectacular shows. So I need to have you guys well trained for the next act. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of advice with any live entertainment, a band, karaoke, anything you're doing. What you're watching is gonna get so much better if you show a lot of enthusiasm and support. So we're gonna rewind just a little bit and you're gonna act incredibly impressed with this, all right? What I have to demonstrate the human blockhead is this! It's still a little bit mild. You can get there, though. You'll get there. I have a lot of faith in you guys. All right, now, you look incredibly strong. Would you do me a favor? Would you just try to bend that? Twist it up, snip it in half. You can't, right? You know why? Because it's a real nail. Now, I love having audience volunteers in my show because they can verify for each and every one of you. Too frightened to interact with me personally. But everything you're seeing on the stage is 100% real. In the Sideshow, we don't do any tricks. Tricks are for ladies of the night and magicians. And if I was in either of those respectable jobs, I'd have better shoes on right now. Unfortunately, I'm in Carnival Sideshow. Now, the second thing I have to demonstrate the human blockhead to you is this! Some of you guys are dropping off a little bit. Pick it up. All right. Now, this is just a little baby hammer. Clearly, I am a fancy lady of the Sideshow. Normally, when you see someone do the human blockhead act, they're grizzled old nasty carny dudes on the side of the Midway, and I'm trying to really femme this up. Gold nails, baby hammers. Got this new hairpiece on Amazon just for Orlando. Yeah. Now, if I were to take this nail and hammer it right into the center of my skull like Melvin Burkhart, where do you think the center of the skull is? No wrong answers. Center of the skull, like right here. Now, in the Sideshow, we would call that a showstopper. In fact, I don't have the right pants on for a severe brain injury. They specifically told me if I crapped on the stage again, that would be it for me, and I can't do that anymore. I'm in trouble. All right, I tell everybody to find the center of the skull. We're gonna take it back to art class. We're gonna draw an oval for the face. We're gonna split it vertically, split it horizontally, and where those lines meet would be the center. And I'm gonna take away a little bit of my 5 head to help you out a little bit more. Now, where do you think it is? Exactly, right on the nose. I'm gonna take this real nail, this real baby hammer, and hammer it straight through my mostly real nose to entertain each and every one of you. Now, for anybody wondering why I'm licking it first, I'm gonna suggest a new boyfriend. If your boyfriend didn't laugh at that joke, girl, get up and leave right now. It's never gonna get any better, I promise. All right. All right. So, I typically refrain from asking gentlemen the follow-up question because they do be lying, but is this in all the way? Yeah? All right, could you do me another favor? Could you take your right hand and hold it up in the air? Pinch these two fingers together so that everybody can see they're real and working. Now I'm gonna walk my head into your hand. And when that nail's nice and close, grab the end of it, don't let go, and I'll just slide my skull off, easy peasy, all right? None of this. Call it the jackrabbit. Nobody likes that either. There's tons of free advice in this show if you're willing to listen, gentlemen. All right. Grab a hold, don't let go. Ooh. Oh, I thought that was brains, but it's not. Yeah, it's like Father's Day every day at this show. Oh my goodness, and you guys have been so phenomenal. I'd like to reward somebody in this audience with some alcohol. Who would like to do a shot? Oh, I love it, sweetheart. I wish that I had that on film. Hey, take a shot. All right, so we're gonna do a shot of Irish whiskey. Oh yeah, would you like to come up and join me? This is great. So do you like body shots? Excellent. So the good Lord has not gifted me with the type of equipment that would provide a living doing body shots. So we're gonna do sideshow body shots. And for something to be sideshow, it has to be two things: literal and disgusting. Perfect. Awesome. What's your name? Jay. Very nice to meet you. I'm Reggie. This is gonna be a very powerful moment for both of us. Now I'm just gonna get you these gloves and this cup, so you can just put these gloves on, and then when the gloves are on, just pick your cup up. Excellent. Now I'm gonna go get some Astro Glide real fast. If your boyfriend didn't know what that was, I just can't help. I'm sorry. Now this is where I show you how I became the most popular girl in 3rd grade. Bunch of late bloomers, I think. I like chuckling. Excellent. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, powerful, powerful. You know what, Jay? I can tell that this might be your first time. So I'm gonna take my gum out for you and make it special. Now, have you ever seen anything like this before? Good. Yeah, I'd be concerned if you had. This is just some standard fish tubing with a little funnel at the end, because the way that we do body shots is going to be quite literal. It's going to be through my body. We're going to put this tube in my nose, pull it out of my mouth. We're going to pour the liquor in the funnel, run it straight through my skull and into that cup. Listen, if you throw up at the beginning of the show, it'll set the mood, and I'll be flattered as hell. Excellent. If anybody feels the need to pass out or do anything wild, we call it a falling ovation goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen. Adieu. All right. Now, let's get your shot. We've got some fine Tullamore Dew. Now, if you could just take that tube and hold it right above the glass so they can watch it trickle in. You can make eye contact. It won't be weird. Oh, here, let me help you at the end right here. Oh, yeah. That's nice and spicy. Jay, would you do me a favor? Could you grab this funnel for me and just hold on real tight? Oh, cheers, Jay. Would you like your own separate cup? Oh, of course. I want you to enjoy it. So you'll have this beautiful cup right here. Because you are a real trooper. Excellent. Yeah, if you ever... Cheers! Let's hear it for the amazing Jay right here. I feel like you left me some tequila or something. Was this like a tip, girl? Because I'll drink after you. All right, so I think a lot of you can tell right now that I'm not the most dangerous, the most wild, record-breaking sideshow performer. In fact, I just talk a lot of trash. But one thing I am is a sideshow historian. I love the American art of sideshow. This is a truly American art. This is where it originated. This is where it became really special. So if you are repulsed, if you are disgusted by the things you're seeing, I suggest you revisit the debates in your head. Go look in the mirror and figure out who we've become, because this might be the fanciest thing about us right now. I'm really here for it. Now, because I'm not doing all those dangerous things, I like bringing back all the vintage fun stuff that you don't really get to see too much of anymore. And that would include this sexy mechanism. Now this, once again, literal, disgusting, is known as a sword ladder. For those of you confused, just went to Home Depot, bought a ladder, got some swords off the internet, boom, sword ladder, just came together. Now for this act, I would like a volunteer that could come and join me on the stage to show me and the audience how sharp these swords are. Would you like to help? Excellent, thank you. Yeah, come right up on the stage. What's your name? Alex, very nice to meet you. Sorry about the looby hands. I'm Reggie. So if you just stand right here, I'm gonna go grab something. We're gonna pick out a sword and demonstrate to the audience that they are sharp using a tool I have just for us. Now, I know, Alex. Now I'm gonna need you to pick one of these swords. 1, 2, 3, or 4. 3? Oh yeah, that's the one with the good handle. How's your swordsmanship? Oh, good, I like that. Confident, like it. Now we have 3 different ways that we can demonstrate that this is a sharp sword. The first, try to make these as relatable as possible. It's like when you're in 8th grade, but your boyfriend has an El Camino. He's in high school, you don't really like him that much, but El Caminos, I mean, everybody's got a thing for him. No? It's classic. All right, nobody's ever impressed. The second way that we can show the audience that this is incredibly sharp is this. Now this is very powerful, sometimes aggressive, but with one foul swoop of that sword, we could just eradicate the patriarchy. This whole place would go nuts. We'd make the same amount of money. Sometimes it's a surprise. That's a felony. Don't even think about it. Number 3. Now number 3 is my least favorite. You're only gonna see this happen if I'm in a lot of trouble. The bills are coming in pink envelopes. Can't answer the phone anymore. It's time to buckle up. Get real serious. Work. 1, 2, or 3? 3, excellent. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'll have this cucumber in my mouth. I'm gonna line it up with your sword. You're gonna hold the sword above your head, and I'm gonna trust you to just take off the tip just to see how it feels. I know that. We're full of lies in the show. All right, you almost ready? 1, 2, woo! Oh my goodness, yes! So I have this cucumber for you. It'll be your show snack. Now, as fun as that is, that's not actually the sword ladder act. I wish it was all just cucumbers in my mouth and cheering crowds. Takes me back to college. If you could just stand right here. Perfect. The actual act of the sword ladder is me walking up the sharp blades with no shoes on. I know. It's also part of my burlesque routine. That's why I'm not the headliner, sweetie. Yeah. All right. Now, the most difficult part of this act is the very beginning. Can I have your hand, please? And that's where I take all 100 pounds of this and pop it onto the very first ladder. Just so you know, it's a little bit weirder when you don't laugh at that joke, just in case you were wondering. Now, thank you. Now, when I get to the very top of this ladder, I would love if you would take those things hanging at the end of your arms and smack them together furiously for me. Thank you so much. Now, we're gonna give them my favorite part of this act. It's going right back down the ladder of swords. Yeah. Now, exact way that I went up, but in reverse. And believe it or not, a lot of Sideshow ladies have some trouble, some real serious visibility issues with this act. I don't. I can see straight to hell. I was born for this act. All the way down, not a cut, not a scratch. The amazing sword ladder, and the even more amazing Alex. Here's your cucumber, your new show snack. Grab a sticker over there. You know, and since we're talking about this blue bucket over here, where all my volunteers are welcome to go, I'd like to bring some attention to it. It is labeled tips. Yeah, so if you like the show, drop some cash in there, grab yourself a sticker. Some people put in as little as $500. Yeah, if you don't like the show, I'm gonna suggest you put in twice as much. Maybe I'll retire early. Maybe I won't have to come back to Orlando. Everyone wins. Yeah, perfect. All right. And now that we've seen what happens with sharp swords, would you be interested to see what I use dull swords for in the Sideshow? Yeah! Excellent! Does anybody know what I would be using a dull sword for? That's right, the ancient art of sword swallowing. Yes. Now, a lot of people don't realize that there's actually an entire culture around the art of sword swallowing with sword swallowers. The last Saturday of every February is known as International Sword Swallowers Day. And the reason that we celebrate it on that date is not just because it's a Saturday and we can capitalize on it at Ripley's Believe It or Not. It's because it's the closest date on a weekend that we could get to that matches up with the last sword swallowing death. And that sword swallowing death was Rosemary Puente. She was a 26-year-old mother who was swallowing swords all day at the carnival. She experienced a lot of discomfort, but I can tell you from experience, this is an incredibly uncomfortable act. Any sword swallower you met has not been comfortable since they started. So she went home, just a little bit uncomfortable, kissed her kids goodnight, went to sleep, and never woke up. And that's because sword swallowing injuries portray themselves very differently than a lot of other things. If I swallow this sword and pull it out and there's blood on it, we all know there's a problem, right? That's almost a gift in itself, because then I know to go to the hospital. Yeah. What winds up happening most of the time is that there is a little nick, a little tear in the metal, any little imperfection there, and that can rip the delicate lining of your esophagus either on the way down or the way back up. And that's why you see sword swallowers licking their swords. It's not just to lube it up. It's to see if there's any damage from perhaps traveling or a drunk volunteer that dropped your sword somewhere. Gotta get the machine all lubed up. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to swallow this sword. I'm going to go past the sphincter in my throat. I'm going to pass the sphincter right next to my heart, go in between my lungs, and the bottom of this sword should be resting right at the very top of my stomach. At that point in time, I'm going to bend at the hips, and I would be so honored if you would join me on this stage. So when you saw a variety performer laying on one, you didn't make it rain thinking, golly, it must cost a lot of money to ship something that heavy all over the country. No, you didn't think anything like that. What you thought in your best disease on Sorry Voices, that's no big deal. I could do that. So I had to come up with something that is a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more scary, and something unique exclusively to me, a pain-proof lady act, an homage to the bed of nails. And for this act, my volunteer has to have very good knees. Hopefully, props. So we're gonna have to put on some theme music for you. You look a little bit young, so you might not know this superstar, but his name is Glenn Campbell, and from now on, this is our song. Now I'm gonna lay down on that bed of barbed wire, and I am gonna put a second bed of barbed wire on top of me, making a little Reggie barbed wire sandwich. At that point in time, this is gonna magically transform into a saddle. You're gonna put that saddle right there, put 1 foot here, 1 foot here, and in your best rodeo moves, Oh, that was an intense ride. Thank you. I'm gonna go home and take a test later. Please grab yourself a sticker. I appreciate you so much. Oh. And now that we've had the last audience interaction of the show, we're gonna get to the real dangerous, daring, frightening stuff. Now, I don't know where you guys learned about Sideshow, but I learned about it in a very ancient time, known simply as the 1990s. And in the 1990s, we used to go to crazy music festivals like Lollapalooza. And at Lollapalooza, there was a great sideshow called the Jim Rose Circus Sideshow, starring the Amazing Lifto. Now, the Amazing Lifto got that name because he would pick up very heavy objects with parts of his body I don't have. So I've had to modify this act a little bit, make it a little bit more femme-friendly, a little bit more family-friendly. But I can already tell there's people looking all over the stage wondering what heavy object I'm gonna be lifting up. Hold on, calm down, opening show, Friday, 6 o'clock crowd. Hold your horses. It's this.
Oh my God.
And I know you're thinking, Reggie, you simpleton, that's not that heavy. But I would like to remind at least the male portion of this audience what Lifto was lifting it up with, and all of a sudden your attitude changed a little, didn't it? Yeah, because how heavy something feels really depends on what you're lifting it up with. Yeah, 2 hands real easy, 1 hand a little bit harder, and what I'm gonna be using to lift it up, harder still, and quite disgusting. Now you can see there's some great carabiners right here from an imported store near me, all the way from Sweden. It's called IKEA. I don't know if you have them around here. Very high-end stuff. Now, what's going in those carabiners are these little O-rings right here, connected to some beautiful pearls, and on this end, there are some fishing hooks. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with sports, these are called treble hooks. And I know you're wondering where on earth they're gonna go. Where, Reggie, where? Calm down. I'm sure you've seen a lot of heavy ear lifting, either on wild TV shows like AGT and things like that, but I don't have stretched out earlobes. So if I were to do that act, it would turn into an accident, and it wouldn't be much of an act. Which is a great reminder for all of you of the social contract happening between audience and sideshow performer. If something looks like it's going wrong in this act, that's because it is. And I need you to put your phone down and help me right away. So now that we've gotten that covered, we'll move on. And I know a lot of you are thinking about the Lifto stuff and where these hooks could go, and I'm gonna let you know I am older than I look. And I'm not interested in having gravity screw me over any more than it already is, so lower those expectations. That's not happening either. Yeah, these hooks are gonna go into my eyes. More specifically, they'll be resting in the delicate lower eyelids right here, balancing precariously on these ocular bones that each and every one of you has in your beautiful skull. Yeah, feel free to move up. Don't be tagging me in those zoomed photos where I look all grainy and bigger than I am. Well, it's insulting. Oh, Electra. Thank you. And we are at a tattoo festival where symmetry reigns supreme, so I have a second hook for this second eyeball of mine. Now, one of the things you can do with those photos, maybe Photoshop a little Santa hat right on top of Reggie, send those photos to your nieces, your nephews, remind them that Santa is always watching. They still have a rest of the summer break to blow it. Keep them on their toes. Now, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna get down, I'm gonna clip these O-rings into the carabiners, we're gonna count to 3 like a team, and I'm gonna lift that up. You guys are gonna go completely bananas. Do we have a deal? Awesome, so quick recap. I put fish hooks in my eyes and I can't see too well. So if you were nodding your head or something like that, I'm just gonna ask again. People of Orlando, Friday night, opening night here at the Orlando Tattoo Arts Festival. Do we have a deal? Oh, that is much more like it. One, two, three. my goodness, thank you so much. People of Orlando, these tears are for you. It's an honor to be able to perform for you all weekend long. Please stick around. We have some of the best in the business coming up on this stage here tonight. Thank you so much for supporting us. It means the world to me.
Hey, give it up one more time for the beautiful Reggie, and come on up to say hi to her now. She's going to go ahead and take